Hello, welcome to Cosmic Love Tarot. As you can see, the cards on the table. I was a little bit nervous about doing the reading tonight because it's just so intense, and it really is connected to one of my other videos that I've done, which is, it says to that video, through your karmic relationships, you've gained a clearer picture to your soul mission. This reading is a follow-on from that reading, okay? So my download, what I've just received, is very intense. I'm quite nervous, and I've not long started my YouTube, and so everything I've ever experienced, spiritually experienced as well as physically experienced, I've always done it in silence. I've never shared it with anybody because I've never known who to share it with. And when I did, there was never any help to me anyway. So everything that I've learned is through my own spirit guides. And it's only been over the last 10 years I've become more aware of the Arcturians. And this is another thing I really do not talk to anybody about because it's very kind of, oh, you're freaking crazy, whatever. But I am so pushed to doing these videos, and it's because of the 2020. A lot of people woke up in 2020. I had these experiences from when I was a child right the way through, but it's snippets. You don't get to find out the full story of anything. You just have snippets at a particular precise time, wherever you are in your physical, where you are mentally, emotionally, whatever is connecting to spiritually, you'll have another download to help you to understand a particular thing that you need to understand. So it comes in little snippets. I'm now 63 years old, and it's only now I am pushed to do these workshops. Well, in a way, it is a workshop because I'm kind of teaching something, but I'm bearing in mind I don't know the full story either. I'm learning too, and I will always carry on learning. That's something I do know. And so I've just got to my table, and I'm nervous, and I asked, I've been asking, as I've done my little prayer, for confirmation that I'm doing it right. And the card that came out, so I was doing this private, and this came out, the Arcturian light codes, and I was starting to read it and thought, oh damn, you know, I've done it again. I got cards out before I started the video. And then I also got a message, it doesn't matter, because this Arcturian light codes is also for you. Whoever is drawn to this video, there's no time at all. Doesn't matter when you see it. If it's going to resonate with you, it's because you are on the Arcturian light codes. You're receiving downloads just as much as I am, okay? And there is a reason for this. So I'm going to read this first before I start with the download that I got. And it blows me away every single time because this card came out and I thought it was like, wow, after my download. Right, okay, Arcturian. And it really does go with the video that I done, that I've just told you about. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand with the understanding of the divine feminine. And it was also to do with Menataka. All of my readings over the last month, they're all linked in somewhere, somehow. They're all linked into the human existence, the human evolution. And that's what it's all about. And that's what my understanding tonight, why I'm doing my readings this way. I didn't know I was going to do readings at all this way. at all. So anyway, okay, I'm going to read all of it. Arcturians is a giant red star that is among the brightest stars seen from the northern hemisphere. It is around 25 times larger than our sun and can be found just beyond the Big Dipper. Many believe that there are light beings living on Blue Planet orbiting Arcturus who are in the fifth or an even higher dimension. Some think they could be a prototype for what is possible on planet Earth. They are described as blue beings. God, I'm feeling so emotional. Oh, feeling emotional. For when they appear to those who can see them clairvoyantly, they are often blue-skinned or emanating blue light in their auric field. The Arcturian race are here to help those on Earth who feel called to facilitate healing and to move beyond the draconian and I really don't know what that says. Patarok Patakul? I'm not sure what that says. Ways of being. So it's the draconians' ways of being. They guide us to realise that we have a great opportunity to evolve beyond these limited states. And if we don't, we'd be stuck on a karmic wheel. Oh my God, this really goes with what I just got. Sorry, I'm just feeling so emotional. We'll be stuck on a karmic wheel for thousands of years before we get our next opportunity. If we feel called to the Arcturians or this information, it could indicate a past future incarnation on the Arcturian planet, or that you have Arcturian guides working with you. Sorry. I became aware of the Arcturian 10 years ago after going through a really traumatic time. With a twin flame, I thought it was a twin flame. It's very narcissistic, but it was, I was also really badly spiritually attacked as well, and a lot of stuff went on. And that's when I became aware of the Arcturians, unknown to me at all. But it was all to do with also Men in Black. It was loads of stuff that was going on. And I had to do it in silence. It was crazy. But anyway, it feels like, and I know that I'm over it, and that's why it's quite strange that I'm crying. I'm not crying over that. I'm crying over that everything starts to make sense, you see, when you start to connect everything together. And this goes back to childhood as well. So, and if this is resonating with you, it's here for you too. Okay, the message. You can evolve into greater states of being now. This begins with how you approach even the most mundane of of tasks in your own little universe. Show up in ways that you've never shown up before. Instead of checking out of this planet, it's time to check in. Instead of feeling that life is happening to you, realise that you have a huge part to play. Recall your power. Realise that you are part of the evolution of humanity. And it's time to become the leader you were born to be. It doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or a larger group. The key is to create more loving ways of doing things. Honour the ideas or thoughts that you have been having recently. If you have been hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, or sensing that you are being visited by beings in your sleep, know that you are receiving downloads from heaven. Arcturians are with you. Okay? Okay. So this is Arcturian light codes. That is in this reading right now for the collective. Like I said, there's no time at all. So it doesn't matter when you see this video at all. Whenever you see it, it's because you are led to it for a specific reason. Okay? So it's about evolutionary downloads, recalling power, and future thinking. I'll put that there. Okay, I will do these cards in a minute because I feel I need to talk about what I got. Okay. Right. Every single thing that I talk about on my videos, I will give you moments of my own personal experience, because every single thing I talk about from experience, and I'm still learning. It's the same as with my workshops. When I used to do workshops of self-awareness, self-development, every single thing I talk about, I will put me in as examples, because I'm human. I'm learning too, and I've also gone through hell many times. I'm the same as you, okay, and I'm still learning. So my question, what it was about, when I'm working with the Arcturians, they will lead me to the right video at the right time, and it could even be another tarot card reader. It could be absolutely anything. If it's anything at all that I specifically need to know, I will be led to a specific post or a specific film or a specific song or a specific tarot card reader or anything. It could be absolutely anything. Okay, so you would have already experienced this. I was led to a specific channel. I saved it. I think it might have been last night or the night before. I didn't look at it. It just filtered through, and I was looking at something else, but I just saved it for me to look at it. And I looked at it tonight. I didn't even think I was on this vibration. I was just chilling out. I was going to have a sleep, actually. Anyway, this particular video, it was all about the dream state. I'd already gone through working through this dream state many, many, many years ago, because as a child, my dreams was extremely vivid. And I had a lot of my soul connections of this lifetime represented all of my dream state when I was a child. But it was showing me my soul journey. It was showing me my past lives that was connected to everybody that I have connected to on a love relationship, was to do with my karmic ties in my past life. I had a lot to release of this life. That's why it was so, so difficult. So challenging and so difficult. And if this resonates with you, this is for you. This is the reason why my other video, like I said, will also explain why these karmic relationships played a really important role, because it was for you, it was to crack you open, fully. Like the temperance of having a foot in both worlds, where you then became whole within yourself because you've understood your own dark and your light. And it was the polar opposites, the duality of both. And that's what that video was about. and it still belongs to now. And the narcissist, I'm going to call narcissist because I did do, they still, it still is connected to, like a twin flame, but it's a manipulation to the divine matrix. And I've mentioned it in my other readings where I've put the divine matrix here and I've put the physical matrix here. It's the combine of the two. It's understanding the two. And it's also the DNA manipulation. And it's also to do with mind control. Okay. It's understanding, it's seeing it all through the purest part of your heart. Trusting and having faith. And that could not be activated until you went through that. Felt like a twin flame, but it was a narcissist. It still had to happen that way. So the dark, the draconians, still brought light. It still brought light to the divine. So it still had to happen anyway. Everything that's happening in the world today still has to happen. To be seen, to be shown something. And this will start to make sense. Right, okay, it's about the dream state. So it's about the question of the dream state. Okay, start again. What if our dream state is our real world? And our waking world is our dream state. Many of you would have questioned that. Okay? Now, we're living in the illusion. Just like the Truman Show. Okay? And our minds are boxed into the Matrix program. So every single thing that we see, we believe that that is all there is. In our matrix mindset, in our waking or illusion, okay? We have boxed our minds in, or the program has boxed our mind to only see that much and nothing outside that box. Now, my question is, from the moment you wake up, why do we always forget our dreams? Occasionally we'll remember our dreams, and I'll tell you when we do occasionally remember our dreams, when we have absolutely scary dreams. We'll wake up, heart palpitations, and we will remember every single detail of that traumatic dream. Okay? That happens because it's in desperate need for your conscious to tap into your unconscious, to bring your unconscious to light. Okay, I hope that's making sense. Okay. Right, okay. I have wrote things down. Okay, so I'm reflecting back at my paperwork. Right, okay. Right. Now then, let's just say, for example, that every single thing that happens to you, we are multidimensional. Every single thing that happens to you in your dream state, if your dream state is your reality, your true self, because we're going back to Atlantis, we're going even further beyond that to do with Manataka, which I've mentioned in that particular video that I said, okay? The souls that came from Manataka came onto the earth plane and created Atlantis. Everything, it's all to do with human existence and the evolution, okay? And if you look through time, we've gone through quite a few ice age, and we've started again. We've gone through the floods, we've started again. So bear that in mind also. Every single thing in our present moment becomes our past and our future. Everything is in our moment. And everything that we've done before. We've repeated it before. That's why we can, when we're opening up, we might have just a moment of thinking, I've done this before. I've seen this before. Or I've actually said this before at this particular point. Because it's filtering through a memory of a past, which is now your present. I hope this is making sense to you. So, whatever is happening in your dream state, whatever you are connecting to on that 5D with whoever you are connecting to on your 5D, when you're not remembering on waking, it's because you're meant to not remember on waking, because we've been implanted to not remember. There's 2 reasons for that, and this is what I've been told. If you bring back all of your unconscious, your dream state, your multi-dimensional self, into your physical reality, which is the illusion, your brain would not be able to cope with it. It's like the Arcturians. If the Arcturians gave you the complete book of your soul journey, your brain would not be able to cope with it, but also you would not understand the journey. You would not understand the lesson. And that was the point of the old journey on the earth plane, is to understand the emotional side. The emotional side is the creative side, which is the divine feminine. Okay. The dream state is the creative side, which is the feminine. The masculine side is the 3D, or it's the lower 3 chakras. It's all again to do with that figure out and to seeing. Okay, right. So, meditation, when you do a meditation, you are tapping into your unconscious mind through a meditation, but you're doing it consciously to tap into your unconscious. So what's happening is you're going into your unconscious mind, you're working through the shadow self to access the subconscious, which then belongs to the Akashic records of your soul journey. You're doing it gently, you're doing it bit by bit, and then you're bringing it back consciously. You're working through it, Pandora's box I call it, in the unconscious shadow. Once you start to tap into a little bit of the unconscious, you then open up the awareness, the door I call it, into, or it's a portal actually, but I've always called it a door, into the subconscious mind, which then opens up everything. Everything. Okay? When you do not do meditations, and you're choosing not to do meditations, and you're accessing information through snippets, maybe snippets of a dream, maybe snippets of a meditation, maybe also from group sessions or whatever it might be, you're not getting the truer picture of your own divinity. Okay? Right, okay. So when I mentioned about when you are consciously tapping into your unconscious mind through a meditation, what's so beautiful about a meditation, it opens up the spiritual heart, the cosmic heart, and that stays with you. Every single thing that you learn through a meditation stays in your memory because it's now conscious. You can't hide it. It can't be hidden from you. It's conscious, but it comes with a light code, which is the cosmic heart. It opens it up of the unconditional love of self. Okay? You can read as much as you want to read about it. If you're not experiencing it, You're working just from the mind in the unconscious without understanding the unconscious mind. You don't understand your own unconscious. It's like the intellect, and you're not tapping into the feminine, the true feminine within. It has to be that both inner and outer, which means the physical matrix, the divine matrix, just like the temperance and the tarot cards, you have to be, and I can only do that, I can only describe it as that, where it blends in together, the yin yang. The unconscious becomes conscious. So nothing at all can become fearsome. You have no fear of what you see outside of you because you understand what is within you. It has to be, it's a polar opposite, okay? Now, from my personal experience, which would be 23 years ago, I chose to meditate every single day for an whole hour. And I was having amazing experiences, but it was through those experiences that helped me to connect to my childhood dreams, that was connected to people in my dreams, that was representing my present lifetime of connections, not knowing exactly who they were until I hit that particular point in this present time to connect again, because my conscious was expanding, my awareness was expanding to understand my past lives, but not gaining the full story of what I was meant to learn in this life with these particular people or particular souls that we can call karmic, okay? But they still played a significant part in my own personal evolution. So what happened with me, I also experienced really horrific, scary, demonic dogs. There was just experiences. After the most beautiful experience I had, I also experienced a really horrific, fearsome experience, to the point that I stopped meditating. I was even reading the Bible at the time as well. I stopped it all because the Bible religion is still kind of linked in with the spiritual side anyway. So it's all to do with the polar opposites. Now, when you're starting to meditate, you will start to see faces anyway, and many times you'll see ugly faces that will appear before you're in your third eye. You'll get ugly faces, and all of a sudden it will turn to nice face, kind faces. But each face, you will feel it. It's tapping into your emotion. It's tapping into the feeling of each face. Don't dismiss it. It's all part of you anyway. It's part of you in your shadow. But it can be extremely scary because it's all to do with the paranormal, really. Also, what you tap into, when you're starting to tap into the unconscious, you will also start to tap into the darker entities that's on the lower density vibration. There are spiritual beings, our spiritual family. We're all on different timelines. We're all on different frequencies. Even evil, right? L is not underground. L is the lower vibration, closer to the earth plane, closer to connect to our minds, okay? These are more of the demonic entities, but they're also demonic because there is demonic spirit, there is demonic people who lived in human form also on the earth plane. These will also try to connect to you, and they will try and manipulate your mind, play tricks with your mind to the point of scaring you so you don't go any further. It's like the Truman Show. When he got on did he climb up a ladder? Or was he in a boat? I can't remember now. And then he started to see the rip in that looked like the landscape of the sea or whatever. I can't quite remember now. And that's that point of that boundary where you will be stopped out of fear. And why I'm mentioning this is because it's only through that fear barrier that you can access the cosmic art of unconditional love, okay? But it takes great courage to overcome fear. Great courage. I thought I had faith in God, with the divine, with my angels. Then I was tested, and my test was this awful growling devil dog. It was like right by my feet. It was awful. It scared the living daylights out of me. But it took me a few years to understand it. It was because my faith was blinded. Okay? It was blinded because I couldn't see the darkness. And like I said, it's took me 25 years. So I've been on a 25-year bloody path to understand these dark entities and everything else. Still don't want to look at them because nobody wants to look at the darkness and the shadow self and whatever else. And it took a very, very strong connection for me to see it. Okay? Right, what else do I want to say with that? Right, also what I wanted to say also, because I did say there was two things about why we are blocked from remembering our dream state, which is our reality, our true reality of our true self, okay? If all of our dream state came forward before our cosmic heart opened up through meditation, for example, okay, because it's that keeps you connected to the two, to your higher self and your lower self. And I said your brain would not be able to take it, because you're not only will be bringing your dream state into this illusion, you'll also see the matrix, the physical matrix, the illusion of the lies. And people are getting angry right now with what's happening in the world today. If you really understood the reason of why you're being shown, is for you to go within also and to look at something within your own shadow self, because outside of you is the illusion. The reality is within you. Once you really understand that the reality is within you, what's happening outside of you will just crumble. It cannot exist. It cannot exist when you can see the truth. Okay? But you cannot just access it. So what I am advising, meditation will help you to connect to the divine through your heart chakra. And it's the heart chakra which is the bridge. I gave you the figure 8. The figure 8, and as it connects, there is the heart. It connects both worlds, just like the temperance, foot in both worlds. Okay. Okay. What I got also, this is what I got now from the Arcturians when I briefly saw that video, and then straight away it just went boom. That was it. And I just started writing straight away. So what I got was that we are in the program. We are part of the program anyway, because our mind is, I got chipped. We're chipped to stay in the program. We are chipped to not remembering the truth of who we really are in our dream state. Okay? I'll call it dream state, even though it is our true world. because I don't want to confuse anything here. Okay. And so that chip is to stop the mind from bringing the dream state into our reality of what is actually our illusion. Yeah, I think I've really basically said all that. The only way to beat the system is through meditation, so that you can consciously be in control of what your conscious mind is accessing from your unconscious self. So I've already explained that. Now, the next thing that I got, let me just then get over to the other pages. I'm really shaking here, but I don't talk about this stuff, to be honest. I keep it to myself. So, now this is the next thing I got. I have been drawn over the last maybe 2-3 years, where it was always to do with Antarctica. Like I said, oh no, that went, but no, it went back about 10 years ago. It was always, I was being drawn to the solar system. That's what was going on right then, because I was working with the Arcturians. But I was also drawn to certain people that was through their own videos helping me to understand mind control, the Men in Black. I was having a lot of experience of three-way communication, the greys, manipulation, mind control. Because what you've got to really understand, the divine feminine, and I'm going to mention Menateka because that's what I'm really drawn to. So I still don't know if I've really come from Menateka, but I'm extremely drawn to it. We came, okay, I've just said we, so I must do. We came onto the earth plane to, as the purest of arts, okay? And through the manipulation of the Anunnaki, and I mentioned that in the video, what then connected me now to is about our DNA and the manipulation of the DNA strands. I mentioned DNA, and I've mentioned Egypt, and I've mentioned Anunnaki, okay? And many of you, if you're on this connection, you'd already be aware of this. Now, about, well, millions of years ago, way before Moses, the flooding and everything, the manipulation of the DNA happened anyway. It started to happen where it was to do the Anunnaki, the giants, the fallen angels, that then took the daughters, human daughters, and impregnated them. And that was the start of the manipulation for the DNA of the human evolution, okay? Every single generation, our DNA has been manipulated. It's genetic engineered through every generation. And what that means is that when our DNA is manipulated, we struggle to access the truer picture of our ancestral past. We forget where we come from. We forget through past lives of the experience that we've had. We forget when we're bringing into another lifetime reincarnation, we're coming in with past traumas, past fears. We're coming in with all that lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So the divine feminine cannot be accessed. It's keeping us in a lower density vibration. Okay? And so the DNA and manipulation had to take place according to the Anunnakis, according to the Matrix, okay? To keep us in slavery and to make people rich and to keep us poor. Okay, because on on mention Manataka, money didn't even exist. Time did not exist. It was all to do with pure love. Everybody, it was just pure love. And the communication was telepathic. And so our telepathic skills is blocked. Our third eye has been blocked through many reasons, which is, I won't say the V, and also the foods we eat, what's in our air, what's in our water, everything, every single thing has blocked the top 3 chakras. I've mentioned it before, which the top 3 chakras is also to do with, because we're all connected to the solar system, it's still connected to Orion's belt, which one of them is Menateka, which I keep talking about. Okay, right. It also indirectly, say in the Bible, mentions about the manipulation and crossbreeding before the Great Flood. You can check out that in the Bible. Okay. Now, Moses also mentioned it also. Moses mentioned that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them as wives of all which they chose. Now, yeah, they did. They did take the daughters of man to impregnate them. These were the fallen angels. And they promised to take care of the evolution of humanity. But they didn't. In a way, they didn't, but in a way they did. Because we had to get back to who we were, who we're meant to be. The Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Okay? So the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is flesh. Man is the lower 3 chakras, but it's also the intellect. And if you've noticed, Lord never mentioned the feminine. Because the Lord knew that it was man that was manipulating the DNA to block out the divine feminine. Okay. Right. Now, you can check all this out anyway, but humanity was under attack, and the goal was to introduce foreign DNA into the gene pool of transforming humanity into transhuman. And the DNA manipulation happened through the DNA from alien source energy, the Anunnaki. I can't even say that because I've wrote that down. Transhumanism was already made a comeback, not through interbreeding like it did back then in the Egyptians, okay, when it started. In fact, I feel it would have started, something happened even where it was to do with, no, it didn't. It didn't. I've just corrected me. No, it didn't. Okay, I'm not meant to say that. Okay, right. Interbreeding, but through the gene splicing and implants, and to be linked through. Right. Okay. What I found out and went into for you, that transhumanism in our present has already made a comeback. Jesus did say, let me see if I wrote that down, because this makes sense. Did I write it? I don't think I wrote it down, but Jesus said that something like it's going to be coming back. It's about Judgment Day, okay? So in our present moment, it's coming back again, and but it's not through interbreeding. It's through gene splicing and implants, and it's linked through the computer chips for a global network that will make us superhumans. This also connects into when I got drawn into looking into time travel. And the stories I discovered of the time travellers really is starting to make sense to me now, because they were saying there was a divide. There's a divide of everything is controlled by one massive computer. And we're all, every human thought and feeling, because algorithms. I'm sure I wrote that down where it's to do with the algorithms. Okay, let's have another look. Please bear with me for a minute because I need to I don't know where I wrote that. Oh, there it is. Right, okay. Okay. Around 12 million years ago, right, the DNA went through a dramatic change, okay? That was when the Anunnaki started to change, manipulate the DNA through interbreeding with humans. It's the interbreeding of their DNA with human DNA. And we've got different DNA strands in our body anyway. So the DNA was being manipulated for evolution, for human evolution. So the missing genetic links to the human evolution, so that the algorithms within the human body becomes a challenge to connect to each other's vibrational frequencies through telepathic communication. Telepathic communication, I did mention that we were originally open to it. We're open to on a 5D in our dream state, but we forget that. And we're slowly accessing telepathic communication. For example, you could be thinking of somebody and then they will just ring you. You're already telepathically communicating. But you dismiss it and say, oh, that's a bit weird. I was just thinking about you. I did it today with my son. I knew what the reason was, but I wasn't going to tell him that. But if he's watching this, he will know why. Okay. So our DNA was manipulated to block all that out. Okay, so I just needed to go back there. And in the Bible, it also, like I did explain, indirectly mentions about the breeding, crossbreeding before the Great Flood. So you can understand why Moses his mission was to gather two of everything, because it was to do with changing what the Anunnaki tried to manipulate, because they want to kill off humanity. They want to kill off all the spiritual side to human existence. Okay. So what's happening right now, as we know with the AIs, this has been going on for many, many, many years. And AIs, this goes back even around the war. Is it something blue bean? Anyway, I'm not going to quite go into that one anyway. I don't need to. So anyway, so everything is to be linked up to the computer and we can't stop it. This is the point. We cannot stop it. Now, when I mention time traveling, I get drawn to certain things because the Anunnaki will connect you where it's to do with technology. I'm not the best with technology anyway, but I will learn it straight away when the Arcturian is leading me to certain things. And yeah, so I remember listening to this one guy. I really wish I wrote his name down. Maybe I did somewhere, but I don't know where it is. And he was on about a dome-like computer on that one side, that was the Matrix. But on the other side, it was to do with free-spirited people, souls that wanted to, that they survived amongst themselves. So, and so you can see where this divide is happening. And this is also then connected to 3D Earth and 5D Earth, because it's a shift of consciousness. So that's what's happening. Okay. So through time, our DNA had been manipulated to the point that we couldn't access this information. And that's why even me as a reader is giving you this information just to confirm to you that you're going the right way. Keep on going. And don't fear, because you'll be tested. All the time you will be tested out of fear to not go any further. It's not all light, it's dark. There's a lot of dark situations that you have to overcome. And it can feel very, very scary, extremely scary. But it's only through the divine heart that will, it's faith. And I know that I will be tested. I will always be tested. And I guarantee you, I can still bloody shit myself with something if it makes me jump. I'm human, it's... But I also wanted to say, right, when I had that bad experience 23 years ago with this devil dog, I mean, I could see it in my mind's eyes and I could hear it so clearly after hearing these angelic wings and on this beautiful meditation. I was reading the Bible at the time and I threw the Bible down. I'll never pick the Bible up again. But I moved, and I moved because I left my toxic husband at that particular time and moved into this beautiful flat. I said it in one of my videos. Like I said, I will talk about my own personal stuff. I've got nothing to hide. And underneath it was a flat, and so but it was over a shop. It was a charity shop. And strangely, I went home, and on my stairs was a book that it was so weird. I think it belonged to the charity shop when they're bringing stuff in at the back way, which would have been my door too at that time. And there was a book, and it was a true story that was based somewhere in the UK. I think it was Shropshire, somewhere, Wiltshire. It could be Wiltshire actually. And it was something to do with that people was in their dream state, was picking up information on 5D dream state of, it was something to do with King Arthur, and it was to do with Excalibur, the sword of, the Excalibur is the sword of King Arthur, and there's 2 stones of Excalibur. And so radio station in the UK got hold of this story and they wanted to bring them all in. I'm telling you this story, I don't know why, but maybe there's some significance here. And anyway, they wanted to bring them in, and there was a medium, and they was just normal everyday people, and they all had snippets of this dream, and they wanted to piece it all together on this radio station to see, well, where is these stones to Excalibur that belonged to King Arthur? And they all got together. They picked the strongest people who had these strongest dreams with bigger links, and they narrowed it down, I think, to 5 people. And now I'm reading this, and I'm gone through a really traumatic time. Okay? And not only on my spiritual side, but I'd lost my son, and my husband was extremely toxic and alcoholic, and I had to leave with just my handbag. So I'm in this flat, peaceful. I'm going to find my way. Okay? I came across this book. Now, I'm only telling you this because this could be your situation too. So through the experience of this story of this radio station, and got these 5 people together, they started to discover where the stones to Excalibur was. But what happened was, each one of them was started to become ill. Okay? They were that ill, they wasn't able to get up, say, for example, on the days when they was meant to go and search for the stones to Excalibur, King Arthur's sword. What was left was 2 people. So they backed out. What was left was 2 people, one medium and another guy, and I don't think I can't remember who this guy was. And the guy became sick the day before they was meant to have a look. It was supposed to be in an abandoned house somewhere. I can't think where now. The medium was viciously attacked, okay? She was viciously attacked spiritually by demonic forces. And because of that, she was too scared to enter the building. She got as far as the building, but she was too scared to enter it because she was warned not to enter it. This goes back to what I've said previously, okay? Out of fear. The book itself is based on really the power of the mind. Doesn't matter how spiritual you are, all right? It's all down to the power of the mind. The mind can completely and utterly destroy you if you let it, out of fear. It's only through the unconditional heart that will stop the fear, because once you've opened up the unconditional heart, you can walk into fear. Just like my dream, when I used to dream of Abraham, who walked me into a battle, and I had to tend to the people that was really badly wounded, and he just told me, just tend to them, don't worry. And I didn't fear it. I didn't fear the men on horses with swords and blood everywhere, people's heads chopped off, arms, they was slaughtering people. And it's all to do with imaginary fear that is implanted into our brain or into our DNA. I don't know. I'm learning this too. So there's something significant why I needed to tell you that. I don't know why at the moment, but anyway, don't need to tell you any more on that. So I just feel we got the Arcturians, and I gave you what I needed to give you. Feeling better than I have done now. I'll just shuffle these bit, even though they have been shuffled, and then I'm going to split them and see what comes up. What else is needed for the collective now, after explaining everything that I needed to explain for the collective? What else is needed? What else is needed? Why did we need to know this information right now? Why did we need to know this information right now? Why did we need to know this information right now? Orion activation. Orion's belt. Oh, wow. Supernova. Recreation. Renewal. Rebirth by light. I'm going to read that. I'm sure I got that. I don't know if it was the last reading. No, it wouldn't have been. Not the last reading. Last reading was a bit dark. Not sure, but that definitely did come up. Orion activation. So this is the reason why I needed to say this, because it's the portal. It still belongs to the Lionsgate portal. Still belongs to the blue moon. I'm saying blue moon, but Arcturian's also blue star system. Same as Manataka. Orion's belt. Blue system, yeah. Wow. Okay. Orion activation. 115. Let's see why they need you to know and to become more aware. Meditation is needed for the ones that's woken up. You need to meditate, because if not, your brain is going to be on an overload. That's what I've just been told. I can't remember what number I've just said. It's going to be on an overload, and it will keep you in a lower vibe energy, and that is what the Matrix wants to happen. And you have to see the bigger picture to it, why it's being shown. But it has to be given to you from the divine. You can only do that through a meditation. Okay? Might take you a while. Don't worry about it, because you've got to slow down the mind. It might take you a while. Just be patient. 115. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. Orion is one of the best known constellations in the night sky. Its name is Greek for hunter, and its stars can be seen as a figure with a sword occupied by a dog. I mentioned the sword, didn't I? Excalibur. That's interesting. I'm going to look into that, because I don't know why I brought that back up, but I never looked into it again, really. I just understood that out of my own fear, which I thought I had faith, I didn't have blind faith. Out of my own fear, I stopped meditating, because I was scared of darker entities. So I even saw shadow people and everything. Shadow people don't hurt you. They're only observing, okay? They like to see what's going on. They're nosy. They don't say anything. They just stand there. But you could have other experiences, and it's about you overcoming that fear. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, at the centre of the constellation, 3 stars. Oh, of course, yeah. I can't pronounce the other two. Anataka, and sorry, I really can't pronounce it. Anyway, it's the 3-star system, and the other one is Menataka. Appear in the belt-like formation to the south of Orion's belt. This really coincides with the dream. Oh, sorry. Why do I keep saying dream? To my reading on YouTube, which I said, what did I say it was called? I wrote it down so you can check it out. Okay, it was called Through Your Karmic Relationships, You've Gained a Clearer Picture to Your Soul Mission. This is giving you the next understanding to it. Okay, it appears that the belt-like formation to the south of Orion's belt. There's Nublar, that has revealed much about how stars and planetary systems are formed. The best way to describe this space is a star nursery during stars' last evolutionary stages. It explodes into a supernova, which provides that perfect space for a new star to be born. The Orion constellation is home to a number of higher beings, many of whom are dedicated to the evolution of our planet. Even though the idea of the constellation being a hunter may make it seem highly masculine, its energies are in fact similar to those of Lemurians and its inhabitants. Therefore, honour all beings. The beings of Orion are in fact sacred space holders who help all of those with star power and star potential to make the changes required to become the most ascended and aware form of themselves. Okay. Okay, the message. All of your fears and setbacks are being stripped from your energy now. It is essential for your old way of being to fall away and for you to go through the process of renewal in order to move forward. The old stories of your life aren't yours to live out or live up to, because you've cleared it away. You are far greater than those limiting experiences. The beings of Orion are surrounding you now, and they see you as one of them, someone who has been born with the knowledge that they can live with great purpose and make a real difference to the world, whether on a global scale or in a particular corner of the planet. When you draw this card, you are being reminded that you have an infinite star potential. Wow. There you go. Okay, that was some reading. Every single thing that I've ever experienced, just snippets of everything, it kind of all of a sudden just rolled into one. And it's like YouTube has become my diary. It's become my diary. The solar plex, I've mentioned the solar plex in that particular video that I was talking about. It all starts with the solar plex of your courage, your confidence, your self-esteem, because we have to go through all these toxic energies. We have to access our unconscious mind, access Pandora's box that's stuck in, which is all based on fear. It's all fear-based in the unconscious. When you start, the light is shone on what you need to see. You'll only take snippets out of Pandora's box, bring it into your conscious, work with what needs to be worked with. It will connect you to your past life. It will connect you to your karmic relationships. It will connect you to understanding what the lesson was. So you're not victim. You're not a victim at all. You're only a victim to yourself if you choose it to be. You chose this lifetime to wake up to it, to wake up to the matrix. The belief system is within your shadow self. Okay. So, I don't need to say anything else on that, and I'm going to do, let's see, how long have I been recording for? Okay. What message now is needed for the collective? Now we know that we still have to overcome these demonic entities. Okay, we have to clear them out of our system. I did mention the crystal grid. Go for healing to clear out any attachments. Detach yourself energetically from all past experiences. I did give you that prayer last night. That's to help you to detach. Okay. So then nobody is living off your light, sucking your light, sucking your energy to keep you still in that fear base. Okay. Keep bringing everything back to you and work with you, because this lifetime is really, really important. Really important. This goes back many, many lifetimes to break the illusion, to break the matrix. But we have to bring our unconscious conscious. Read up on Carl Jung about the shadow self if you don't know where to go for that. Books are coming out now on the shelves where it's to do with the shadow self. I found Carl Jung. He's my icon, but back then I went to a museum because I was having so many experiences spiritually. And a lot of things that I was having, meeting ascendant masters, and I didn't know they were. I could only describe them. And a medium just gave me a lovely hug and a kiss, and she told me to check up on Carl Jung and Edgar Cayce. Casey? Is it Kayce? Depends how you pronounce it. Great men. They're the ones that opened up the door to the unconscious mind, made it conscious. So if there's anything that you need to know, which I'm sure you will, depending where you are right now, check it out. Start working on yourself. Don't worry about what's going on outside of you. You're not in control. You'll only be in control of what's outside of you once you understand and in control of what's going on inside of you. Okay. But also, like I said, within the shadow self, there's also demon spirits sucking off your energy while you're in shadow self, because you are the chosen ones. You are the divine feminines. Okay. And that, when they are sucking on that life force energy, They are keeping you still in that fear base, scared to go any further, okay? I chose to stop. Then I started again. Then I stopped because I'm still got to work through my own 3D shit that goes on in your karmic relationships. Still have to do it. But each time I was connecting more stronger to the divine, and that strength and that courage that I was gaining was helping me to see things more clearly. And my last relationship, I did it silent. I saw it and I watched it and I observed it. And they shot themselves in the foot because I saw it. I couldn't say it because they'll change it. This is what happens with manipulating. But it's still connected to grace. It's still connected to mind control. It's still connected to implants, because these people, human beings, it's still to do with the DNA strand, because everything is meant to happen in this lifetime. And so these people were meant to connect, meant to manipulate, and we're still manipulated with these implants to say, oh, that's my twin flame. No, you are your own twin flame. You are your own twin flame. They are counterparts to help you to access it. So that's what I'm going to say on that now. So let's see what message. Release. Release anything that keeps you from your path. Authenticity. I mentioned release, didn't I, when it was to do... What did I put that card away for? When I mentioned Orion. I've mixed it in there now. Release. So release. Release everything that needs to be released. And you are magnificent. You are amazing. You are magnificent and unique. But most importantly, you are enough. Okay. And I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for... thank you very much for the algorithms, because that's what they try to block. Slowly we're accessing it. Slowly we're being drawn to certain videos at specific times. This is the Arcturians that's helping you. So if anything at all relates to you, maybe not all of it, maybe just part of it, maybe just a snippet of it, maybe there'll be something here that might resonate with you in a week's time or a month's time or maybe a year's time, something. Okay. So please like and connect energetically. Let that also algorithms get shared around, because we all need it. All these tarot card readers on this vibration needs to get out there, needs to help people to understand the darker demonic entities also where you are being attacked to. It's understanding, but meditation will help you to understand it and to calm down. You're not in control of what's going on outside of you. It's a shit show, believe you me. I know. It's a shit show. I even got sacked from my job because I went mad. I was going mad in 2020. I was seeing it. I was having these downloads as well as I was working in the caring profession. It was a shit show. And everyone turned against me because of it. I spoke my truth. And watched people suffer. It's awful. But anyway, on them, it's not on me. Anyway, I'll let that go. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless.